Hey beautiful people, today we're here to talk about what is the role of leadership in organizational change. What if leadership during change isn't about having the answers, because most of us think it is, but instead it's about helping people ask questions and make offers. Most of the common sense today is that change fails because people resist it. I'd propose to you that maybe people are resisting it because they don't understand it. And when you think about how your team handles change, are they navigating it well together, or are they simply reacting to it? By the end of this video, I want you to be able to understand why most change initiatives fail and what you can do about that. Recognize what kind of leadership and what leadership practices build trust during times of change and chaos, and how you can begin to develop some of those skills. Learn how transformational leadership, not top-down directives, actually creates sustainable and lasting and valuable change. I want you to gain practical skills for leading change with empathy, clarity, and with resilience. We think of change as managing change. I'd like you to shift gears on that and think about moving away from managing change to leading transformation. External data on this one is approximately 70% of change management initiatives fail to achieve their goals, largely due to employee resistance and lack of management support. So that's the common sense when it comes to thinking about leadership as a driver of change and absolutely critical for success. I would say that employee resistance has a lot more to do with employees not understanding what's in it for them. I talked about communication in another video and how important it is to be able to communicate the what's in it for them to people. Lots of times we resist change because we haven't heard what's in it for us. We don't know how to go about it. When someone says transformation to you, you might hear, or someone who you're working with might hear, that I'm going to make you into a different person than you are right now. Well, I'm absolutely fine with who I am at the moment. Thank you very much. I'd like to improve. I'd like to get better in lots of areas, but I don't necessarily want to become a different person. So I think that transformation is daunting and a little frightening for people. And I think if we talk about managing change, what people also think about is that it's being kind of done from on high. They're being managed through a change process. If instead we look at helping them be able to build the capacity to be able to deal with change, which is a constant and an accelerating constant at the moment, what we're doing is we're giving them new skills. So rather than saying, here's the change, this is what's going to happen, I've always been more interested in saying, this is what we're looking to accomplish. Here are some skills that you're going to need to be able to help us accomplish this. This is something that is in your best interest because it's something your department asked for. It's something you were involved in designing, and we'd like to be able to do it with you. I remember I was doing a big project at a client that I was working for, and we were putting in new information security practices and processes. And one of the things that the team had previously done before I arrived there was they were looking at spending a lot of money on information security software. Information security software can be fabulous and incredible and valuable, but 97% of information security errors are human originated, or they were at that time. And so what we did was we started an initiative to go out and explain to people, what's information security? Why is it important for you? How is it valuable for you as you're doing scientific research? How does it relate to your work? Why most of the errors happen at the human-computer interface? And so as people got more of an understanding of what that was about, they also got more ownership around the change. Now, it meant that the change from beginning to end took a little bit longer, but it also meant that we had knowledgeable people. They were in alignment with what it was we were trying to do. They were giving us lots of feedback into the system and allowing us to be more useful and more valuable for them over time. And they were also our allies in doing the work. So we didn't encounter a whole lot of resistance. We encountered resistance from people who just didn't want to learn anything new and didn't want to change anyway, but that's usually a tiny percentage. We got enough critical mass that we actually had a lot of momentum around this, and the project was very successful. So when we start thinking about transformation and managing change and change happening from the top down, what we're miss is that it's an opportunity for people to be able to learn and to be able to answer with you the question, what's in it for me? People talk about clear communication reducing resistance. Clear communication is a very nebulous term. I prefer to think about it, and I find it more useful to think about it in terms of I need to answer the obvious, the what's in it for me, but I also need to involve them in the design of what it is that we're offering to do for them. Because remember, if you start thinking about work as not being rolling out transformation or rolling out new systems or rolling out change as if it was a carpet and you were putting it over our heads. What's more useful to think about it is I'm actually designing with you what's going to be valuable for you. I'm saying that you are my customer for the value that I want to be able to deliver to you. And I've been a CIO in a big innovation organization. And one of the things that I really learned in there was that when you have a lot of very well educated, highly intelligent, highly capable people who are your internal customers, if you don't involve them in the decision making, you get a lot of pushback, a lot of resistance. Now, I think that applies regardless of how smart people are or how well educated they are, because when people see change happening to them versus change happening with them, they tend to resist it because it's a pretty normal human thing to do. What we did as we started bringing new systems to them is we treated them like they were offers we were making to them. We asked them to be part of the design with us. We did enough of our homework to be able to guide the design process. Over a number of years, we moved our customer satisfaction from being highly dissatisfied with the department to being actually delighted with the department. And a lot of that was simply because we didn't try and do clear communication as if we were communicating information to them. What we did was we made offers to them and we treated them like customers. If we want to be able to build successful change adoption, and we are leading organizational change, then we need to be able to build trust. That trust is what's going to invite people to ask questions of us rather than simply resist what it is that we're trying to do. If we go out of our way to engage in a conversation with people where we're making an offer, we're treating them like a customer, every single time we go through that cycle with them, we are building trust with them. Every time we carefully deliver for them, we are building trust with them. Every time we set good shared standards with them, we are building trust with them. So if instead our focus moves from, I want to be able to communicate change clearly, I want to be able to tell people what it is that we're doing, I want to be able to let them know where the directives are coming from, we instead treat them as if they are our internal customers, and we seek to build trust with them, and we seek for them to be part of the process. In the beginning, it looks like it's going to add more time to the front end of the project. What I have found over the years is it absolutely, yes, it does that because we're spending more time educating people. In the long run, it's a lot more cost effective and it takes a lot less time to do the implementation and actually make sure the delivery is successful. So design done here at the early stage of the project has a 3 or 4x impact on reducing the amount of work during the implementation and also the rework that needs to be done because our customer wasn't satisfied with what it was that we were looking to do in the first place. If you are going to lead organizational change and you are going to be part of making a change or a transformation happen within your organization, you've got to be a really good example of what it means to actually deal with organizational change. So part of the growth and development you need to do there for yourself is to be someone who's really good at being able to listen to other people, who's really good at being able to understand what matters to other people, who's got a really good handle on the metrics and the value of what is considered valuable inside the company and how those metrics are accounted for within finance and within performance reviews. But also you need to be able to be a person who's incredibly good at taking feedback. And I don't mean turning your chin and dealing with the hit on the other side. What I mean is that you're able to be discerning around what are the voices that you really deeply need to listen to? What are the voices of dissatisfaction that may have been dissatisfied about something else for a very, very long time? But who are the people who are actually engaged in trying to make the company a better place to work? They're the people who you want to learn how to listen to and really be discerning around. Will you always get 100% acceptance of change? Probably not. More than likely not. I must admit I never have. But I've always gone, if I can get critical mass or above critical mass, then this thing is going to prevail and it's going to be successful. The naysayers will always be with us, but they're usually a small percentage of your community of people who you're trying to bring through a change process. So as you think about your role in leading organizational change, recognize there's a huge growth opportunity for you there. There's also a lot of resilience and robustness that you need to build for yourself. As you start doing it, recognize that once you start leading organizational change, you are going to put yourself in the line of being promoted. As you start thinking about that promotion, I encourage you to do the promotion readiness assessment. There's a link down below in the comments, and it's also www.getpromotedassessment.com. That'll start you on some of these reflective questions that you need to do to be able to see whether or not that's a role that you want to play, to see whether or not you've got the emotional maturity, or you're building the emotional maturity for yourself to be in a position to be able to effectively lead organizational change. Kudos for you for even considering this. I absolutely want to help you on your journey. I will do other videos on this topic. I hope you keep coming back, subscribe to the channel, come back and let me know how it's going for you. Take care and best of luck.